Hello there, web development is fun again thanks to Datastar. I had a lot of fun making my last video and I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed it. In this one we are going to the 3 web dev secrets that I use to make the Tower of Datastar, starting with the first one, the blur effect. So the blur effect is what you get when you click on an arrow to get from one page to another. You see that the text becomes blurred and kinda morphs into the new one. And to achieve this cool trick, we are going to use view transitions. The code for it is actually very simple. You just start by going to your CSS and declaring navigation auto on the view transition element. This will tell the browser to activate view transitions on most stuff, most links, most navigation will trigger the view transitions that are declared. So now we declare view transitions. Let's start by making some very simple CSS animations, the usual, so you declare them with keyframes. I'm going to call one going in and the other one going out. And as you guessed, the going in, for example, will be the new text coming in. It will start with an opacity of 0 and very blurred. And then we are going to go to filter not blurred and opacity 1. And you guessed it, going out is going to be the exact opposite. So from blur 0 opacity 1 to blur with the same pixel value as the new text initially, opacity 0. We are going to assign them to old content and new content, so we have a specific CSS way of saying this: view transition old and view transition new. And after that, view some timing functions, so I use capture all stuff to capture all my view transitions. Duration 2 seconds, and the animation timing function, I am going to use this curve that you can make with cubic Bezier. This will smooth the transition between the new text and the old text, but you can also use linear and delays. You can, experiment with what you prefer. And this is how you get this nice effect. You see the old text is blurring to 50 pixels, the new text is unblurring from 50 pixels, and I like the effect. It's like a video game. So the power of view transitions, but they cannot differentiate. For example, if you wanted to make a view transition where the text move from left to right or right to left, depending on which button you press, this will be harder to do. You can do it in Datastar, because when you patch elements, you can specify the view transition that you want to use, but there's no way to do it in HTML plus CSS without involving JavaScript, and I wanted the less JavaScript as possible, and the less Datastar as possible as well. So I went with an MPA and this cool blur effect, which works both ways for going to the next page or going to the previous page. For the next secret, we are going to go into DevTools and we are going to see the keyboard navigation. I don't like the idea of keyboard navigation because, one, it's already big in the browser. You can tab interactable elements and click on them with Enter. But also you will have trouble with mobile people, so I'm not a big fan of keyboard navigation for the moment, but I wanted to do it anyway. In Datastar it is very easy to do. You notice that in our body here we have a data on attribute. Data on will trigger on key down, we listen with the modifier on the window, and we throttle every data on event every 500 milliseconds in case the user is mashing the keyboard or keeping keys pressed. And then we have some JavaScript. Event is the event that triggered the key down, so it will be passed by Datastar to this inline JavaScript function. Event.key, if it is arrow right, we use the ternary operator here, window location equals defaults, or else null, we don't do anything. Window location is the correct way to redirect the user with JavaScript, and defaults is, as you guessed, the next page. So now I'm going to press the next key, and look at that, the expression changed. So we are now at the defaults page, but now we have event key arrow left, ternary operator window location, the previous one, home, and if the key wasn't arrow left, we check for arrow right, so we are chaining ternary operators in JavaScript, very useful. If it's arrow right, window location to the patch page, so patch elements. So you see we have controls in our markup that change depending on what is possible. Some may call it hypermedia. Do not trust them, they are in a cult. How to do this in Datastar? This is very easy. The answer, as usual, is in the Tao. Let me go. It is, yes, right there. Backend templating. Since your backend generates your HTML, we can do anything we want. And just look at that. I am using my backend to generate a data on attribute with a variable named arrow navigation, and this variable arrow navigation, it just depends on the state which is on the backend. I get my state, I get previous, I get next. If I have no page before and after, it shouldn't happen, but arrow navigation is null. If I have a page before, if I have a page after and no page before, I just check for arrow right, and I pass, using this f string, the value of state next. Same stuff if we have reached the last page. It cycles, so it won't be useful, but this is how I wrote this. First I wrote this, and then I wrote the case where there's a page after and before, and I just had to combine this line and this line to have my expression for arrow navigations. And now we are going to talk about the third secret, the reps. You see that if reps égale 100, arrow navigation is null, but what are reps? So the third secret in the Tao is reps for repetitions. I said at the end of the Tao video that the more you read the Tao, the clearer it will become. And that was not just a figure of speech. Let me show you. I'm going to keep the arrow pressed, or just like that, to simulate reading the Tao over and over. Don't keep the arrow pressed. Click the arrow and read everything 10 times. But I am going to just keep the key pressed here. Notice that, as you saw before, I make a little pause, everything that you see was generated dynamically in Python in my backend, went through the server, made a round trip, came back, was morphed with a view transition, and it's almost instant, right? This is the power of MPA. Do not underestimate the power of MPA. And look what happens the more you read the Tao. You see that the clearer it will get. And this is the end state of the Tao. Keyboard navigation is disabled, so you will have to use tabs in the browser. And you have just a new CSS. If you practice Datastar, you know that this is very, very easy to do. We are just going to put the number of repetitions in a cookie. Like every time the user goes through the last page to the first page, we increment the value of the cookie reps by 1, and then we are going, for example, here to write a custom CSS, so this is the relevant part. Repetition, we convert it to an int, and we write a custom CSS affecting the light variable, which will control how dark or light everything is. And as well, the blur effect is going to be shorter and shorter the more you read the tau. It will go from 2 seconds, like we saw in the beginning of the video, to 0 seconds. And that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. You can go to tau.leg.ovh. I will put the link in the description as usual. You see that this was very fun and easy to make with Datastar, so go read the Tau, go read the guide again and again, and it will get clearer. For my part, I wanted to say that I made this website with Stario, so if you want to find the highly detailed code of what I did, I tried putting as much comments as possible. If you want to get started with Stario, I will put the link in the description as well. And in a week or two, it's going to be the 1-year anniversary of this channel. 1 year of Datastar projects. It wouldn't have been possible without you guys, so I'm preparing a very special video for this. Be sure to be subscribed, and see you there.